You know, I'm able to finally do things. It still sucks. Is there a way to save states? There's no other save states. Um. Oh no. Okay. So most of the time, I actually have to get the device to absolutely be where, in order for it to do anything, I actually have to say add source, say desktop capture, and I have to capture do that. So far, that's fine, but you know what? At least we're getting it in full screen. I've always wanted it in full screen. The problem I've had so far with full screen is that it just hasn't been easy to source. Yeah, but I did get it fixed for PlayStation, so that's good. I don't really. I mean, it's good. I mean, if I had to put it in non-Windows mode, that's fine too. I mean, I'm not really so much against that as I am just whatever. But see, like when I was doing mobile, and before that, when I was doing PC, I was able to put it in full screen and stuff like that. But that was back before all this technology got as much as it did. Don't get me wrong, a lot of ways it has improved, but in a lot of ways it has made it worse on a lot of different things. It just depends on what the hell you're trying to do. So if you're thinking, well, it's easy enough, but yeah, it is. But again, depending on what you're trying to accomplish here. Oh God. Don't tell me. Honestly, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. No, we did get the rail car, okay. Okay, so let's get the hell out of here. Now what I have to do is I have to go all the way back because it wasn't saved. Dude on the other side of the gate makes no sense. I mean, because literally I have a dang thing that lets me in and out, so I don't understand such idiocies in this game. What's this way? Now that I think about it, I never really noticed that one before. So let's try and go this way and see what's here. Stop that. I have no clue what this way is. I've never even been up here before that I know of. What is this? Do you have to do that every single time? I'm guessing that we could come here later on and done this because we don't even have a bow or arrows. I don't even know where you're supposed to get those at. I don't know. I mean, I try to do this game as much legitimately as possible. You know that. So far, I've followed to that letter to that T. Like I said, there is no way to absolutely get yourself all the way to the final boss, to the final level of the game, to fight the final boss. There's no such cheat as that, or I mean, trickery. So the only thing I can do is get, yeah, I don't understand what you're doing. But the only thing I can do is bypass a bunch of this stuff, but I would still have to go into each and every one of them. I think you have to go back into them anyway for, like, later stuff you can't do here. It's a little bit later on in the game anyway. All the dungeons we've ever done, we have to go previously, to go back in there because there's things that probably, I'm not sure of that, but I think I read somewhere where you have to go back into them because there's stuff you're missing that you can't do now. But you actually had to go through them anyway for the sake of the game. So, yeah, let's get the hell out of here. This looks like just a practice grounds. So, probably one of the mini games. I'm not interested in mini games. I like mini games, but if I can't beat them, I'll give them a try. Don't get me wrong. But if I can't do it, I can't do it. But if I have to do it just because I have to do it because of 100% of the game, you might as well forget it. I'm sorry, I'm not one of them types. So I'll try my best. If I can do it, hey, you know, fine. But if I can't, you know, after so many attempts, it's done. That's it. But it looks like I'm going to have to come back here anyway for that. So, in the meantime, let's go back and see what we have to do here. I'm going to tell you what, I am very much of a fan of the Legend of Zelda series. I'm not a fan of the newer series because there's energy now. That's stupid. Maybe a lot of people that enjoy it because all you had to be limited by how much you can run. You already were limited as it was as much as you could run. This guy won't let me go through it, so I have to go jump over it. That's his help. But yeah, so, you know, we're gonna get the hell out of here. And unfortunately, though, I gotta go redo that mini game again, which was not easy. I'll tell you what, because of my controller. I was like, dude! I really have my sword out. I also am not a fan of it when okay, this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler, so go watch it somehow or another. Now, this is a good reason why I actually wrote down this stuff, so hang on a minute while I look it up. Okay. So, I found that other piece of paper, though, which is crazy. Now, there's that guy again. Always has to come after me for whatever reason. Now, the thing is, from what I understand, you're supposed to be able to have a opponent at this point as well, but I don't know. I guess we can't have the opponent until later on, which I don't really care. I mean, it would be nice, makes us a lot more faster, stuff like that, but faster, F-A-S-T-E-R. Spelled it out for you, because sometimes it's hard to speak clearly when people don't understand it. I said fast, not faster. Faster. No. I know how I can sound like about paying attention to it. Even if I took the pill to fight the infection in my mouth, it doesn't really stop it from happening. A lot of times, you can fight it back enough to absolutely make where you guys can hear me or but you can understand me. But it doesn't stop it from happening completely. It's very sad. And like other people, I didn't brush my teeth. I mean, I brushed my teeth for a lot of my life. I did. Found out that's not a good thing to do. But keep your teeth clean, fine, but don't brush them so much like I did. I mean, but even then, yeah, there is such thing as, why am I here? I didn't want to. It's a nice place, got great music and all that kind of junk, hoo-ha. But, you know, so after we get the last deal, it told me that we can go back to it, because it didn't say anywhere about, it didn't even say if it mattered which one we went to, but, you know, they were missing one more, and, yeah, that's the thing as well. I've got to redo that whole entire place that we were at in the last episode. So I don't remember if I got it uploaded or not. Hopefully I did, because otherwise that's a hell of a lot of waste. In Final Fantasy IV, I'm telling you right now, the only thing I have to do with it right now is to do a bit of preemptive in-game. I was going to do it all the way to the max level, but I thought, you know, what's the point when I ain't even 100% of it yet. And then after that, I have a choice between Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VII. Doesn't really matter either way, they're both going to be coming out. So that will be something else that will be coming out after Final Fantasy IV. Divided my days up because I thought how much easier it would be just to get this out. And I wasn't sure what to do about Saturday because I didn't have anything planned. So I decided to make it a double video dose for 2 days in a row instead of like every other day. It's still gonna be like 2 videos. So what was it again? I barely remember that by heart. Barely. That's the Sun song. Good thing I had the piece of paper. But anyway, then there's this temple up here. I was looking it up. It said you have to come back later for that. So, yeah, even if we could do it in there now, it doesn't really matter. Not a whole lot we could do. It's like that other place I found I wasn't able to do because I couldn't do it without a bow and arrow. So, unfortunately though, I have no way to understand what the thing is about it and what the deal about the loving stuff is. I don't get that. So there's like 2 bosses we gotta fight, and I'm not really sure how that's supposed to happen. Let's see here. I know we gotta do the Zelda song on this one. I don't remember what that one is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Yeah, so we gotta go in here. Go redo that mini game. It's a good thing we know how to do it. It's just not going to be an easy thing to do. So many different things. The thing is, as well, is that they always make you do, in most of these games, at least the first place available so you can do so much more. It's like a kind of a way to by the way, that hurt. Anyway, to be able to get to where you need to. Without it, you know. But other than that, you don't have to worry about, you know, taking the time to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have to worry about which one you take on first. There's never been that kind of thing in the Zelda universe. You can do anything you want to as long as you've done most of the games. You have to absolutely at least accomplish one before you get to get the rest of it. Where in the world am I going? I need to go this way. this way. Oh yeah, 'cause there's no, they don't drop the gates for you. I hate the camera angles in this. I also, you know, there was a lot of people who hated upon Skyward Sword. I say a lot of ways Skyward Sword was a hell of a lot better. But I also liked some of the ways where you could actually travel by sea, which you just can't do that in all these games. Whoa, where are you going? So yeah, now we gotta do this. So we gotta look at Zelda stuff. Zelda's song is gonna be and I forgot what I had to do. So I lit the torch. I think I have to go through all that again because there was a treasure chest that we did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do all that again. Not a problem. Because I mean, all I gotta do is basically jump up and down and I'll be fine. There's also another one, but you can't do that right now until later on. It just makes you last a little bit longer. I think it's the gold one. I didn't know anything about it, honestly. I was looking it up, trying to get what I had to do. It's like, there's no way, and I got frustrated and stuff, right? Because my controller was not letting me go down. But what I did is couldn't get those ribbons. So whatever we do, we're gonna have to do this. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to go here. Do that. I was supposed to keep going on. So I didn't know that. That was the crappiest thing I could have ever done. Okay, so, you know, you have to at least get this done anyway. Really? If I had the bow and arrow, this would be a lot more easier. Unfortunately, though, because of the way that they've done this game, here's the thing. The way that they've updated it, you can't just like cheat until after it hits their ability. I was able to fully cheat and do it. You know, where I skipped it all. But I don't really want to skip it all. I want to be able to get it as it is, you know, if that makes any sense. Because, like, I'm not even kidding. Don't tell me I actually missed one. I missed a dang torch. Well, that's alright. However, we are definitely going to say go here. And oh yeah, we can change state. Okay, let's try to see if I can load this thing. Okay. So like as usual, if you want to get this guy to move, you gotta go over here. And then we gotta go here. I gotta be over this. Yeah, but unfortunately, they're not going to tell you this, but you need to do this way. We got to do this a certain way. Also, I hate that they get rid of the fast speed because we need it, you know, to be nice. Okay. We're gonna reload that, so. Alright. Yeah, no. Oh, man. What was that doing? I mean, because in order for us to continue on, we actually have to go this way. But then we have to go talk to him. But we have to wait till after we do that, and then we got to go get the bottle, which I know exactly where it's at. It's at the other lake that we have to swim to from Coronado's Valley, or we can go over there without having to do that. There's also a warp location that we can actually pick up. I don't know exactly where the song would be at, but we can actually cheat and get it if we wanted to. But I'm not going to do that. Yeah, looks like it's yeah, I hate this. This makes me more frustrated when I can't do things, but I can't worry about it too much. See, my strength right now, focusing on getting frustrated, is just not here right now. Too much going on for that to happen. I suppose I could do this off screen, because I mean, like, I really, you guys have already seen this. So now we got to open that up again. So hang in there now. Yeah. So you're gonna do that every time you come out. And you can get back in there, but it makes it a lot more difficult when you try and do that. When you try and do it. But I'll do that in another episode. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. So I guess. How many times can I say that? Sorry. Anyway, let's do this in another episode. But I mean, like, really, this is very frustrating, and I don't like that. I don't know what to do to increase the wallet size at all. I mean, I tried cheating, but you can't do that. Probably have to wait till a little bit later on to do it. It's like I tried to get these, but it didn't work out. However, I had to cheat to get the boomerang because I had missed it, which I did not want to have to do. Didn't know you had to have the boomerang at all. So I got very annoyed with that fight. And I tell you what, I was looking up how to do that Octorok fight, and then it was talking about another one. I was like, what? The boss that we were fighting was not the main boss. No. We needed to defeat that boss, and then continue on to the main boss. The main boss, whatever. So I don't know. I guess I'll try to do this side stream or whatever, because I guess I'll have to put this off for a little bit until I can figure out what to do, because this here is one of my projects, and then there's Majora's Mask. Now, that game in itself is simple enough if you know what you're doing, because, I mean, like, literally, I'm not going to try and do all that crap where I'm limited and all that kind of junk where I have to, like, do all the daggone missions to try to reset time. I'm not going to do all that. That's very annoying, and plus, it really wears out your controller far more than you think you have to do all that crap. And the missions in that one there are far more hard than you think. If you think it's easy enough to do it, you do it. I mean, that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something that you don't even have to do all that, unlike this game. This game here, you have to do all this. Especially if you want to get to the final deal. Because even if I could have done all that, I still have to run all this just to get to where I need to go. Even if I could have cheated, I still would have had to go back to all these other stuff and whatnot, because I can't just go to the final dungeon. Won't let me. No such cheating like that. Never was, and I wouldn't want it to be anyway. You know, even if I could cheat. But anyway, there is something that we need to really do that would make things much more easier too at some point, which is, yes, I know, cheating. A lot of you don't understand that cheating needs to happen. I don't want to cheat, I ain't cheating. So long, something's wrong. Oh my god, I feel like I'm a loser. I'm not afraid to do it. See, the thing is, you're afraid to do it when you call us out like that. Like, I said that probably countless times, but I mean it. Play the game how you want. I also understand the crap too. You don't have to play the way I play it. And I don't have to play it this way. And I do not play it either that way. I play it any way I want to. Oh, except for jumping inside the game myself and trying to, you know, impregnate the friends, yeah, for a little bit. You know, the one good thing about having ramen, there's no expiration date on it, so it's good. Like eventually it does get moldy if you open it up though. Have like water in it and stuff, you know. But see, the thing is, well, it's not just because of how underage she is. I mean, she is really underage. You don't know that, but yeah, she is. I think she was an adult or a semi-adult. No, I think she's like 16, 17, whatever in this game. Like a kind of almost close enough to be an adult. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even contemplate the idea of like how much I really should be with the princess in this game versus any other game. Other games, she's probably, I think she's supposed to be like 25 years old or something like that, from my understanding. The age gap is really weird, whether they do these reincarnations of Zelda, Princess Zelda. You know, they'll never tell you the exact age of the game, but it's been revealed that she's actually pretty quite young for herself. The other one that you're having to go up against, or trying to say, this other princess, is even younger than that. So, go figure on those kind of marvels. I mean, like, for a game that's supposed to be teaching you all this stuff, especially about all this lovey-dovey crap and stuff like that, like, yeah, no. Like how he says that would be just fine. Did I not already do these? Yeah, it should have stayed lit. Maybe I did this wrong. But I'm willing to attempt this in another episode because, I mean, really, just basically this. Or do it off screen because really I just need to really kind of relax and try to take this game as I go along. But yeah, it's natural to get frustrated at this game or any other game, and that's fine. As long as it's not happen to be natural enough, you'll want to quit the game and never want to play it. I don't like playing a game like that, you know. I don't like being that frustrated where I have to be like, uh-oh, now I gotta get so pissed I start swearing left, right, and center. I don't care if I swear, but I care if I don't that I want to quit. Doesn't matter how good it looks. I just want to quit. That's it. That's no way to play a game. Fortunately, people do just give up. You can't really blame them when it's that freaking frustrating. I mean, it's one thing to be, like I said, one thing to be frustrated. It's another to sit there and go, I'm just so frustrated, I gotta quit. I'll tell you something else that's good about these bowls that I got here. They're microwavable. I've had plates where I thought, well, they're supposed to be microwavable, right? Wrong. I mean, although I guess they made them a little bit more safer, but they're still not ones that you should ever put in a microwave. I've done that because it made like 3 holes in it. Stuff like that, right? So, I mean, because these got instant ramen cups, they used to make them where you can put them in the bottom like that, right? Or they had little ones like that, and they stopped doing it. Now they said, put it on the stove. What's the difference between the stove and me putting it in a bowl? I put it in a thing. I like to put my stuff in the microwave. Plus, I don't have access to a stove. What are you going to do if you ain't got a stove? And instant ramen, you know, in a cup is a little bit more cheaper than just getting those packages. That's crazy to think that, but it is true. I mean, they're both good, don't get me wrong. But when you think about, like, which one's the one you actually want to eat out of, or whatever, yeah. You probably make both of them last. And I'd never done this before, but they got where they got separate ones. It's not a box, basically. But when it, about the same amount as what it is in a box. So if you're gonna get like 6 or 12 of them, might as well just get the box. It's a complete waste of time trying to get a separate package unless you're only gonna get a few. So yeah, this is blind. It's still fully blind because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. A lot of stuff I do know. That's why then you wonder why I was wandering around so much trying to figure out what do I do? They told me to go here, right? And I was like, what do I do? If I knew what to do, I would have already done it. So. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind playing a game that I've already recorded a game that I've already played, but even if I've beaten it already. You know, but so many things that I could talk about, like there's abandoned places. That you wouldn't think this. Not so abandoned because it still has electricity. Well, it's true in a lot of ways. Believe it or not, there was this YouTube channel or whatever that was doing these videos. I guess they don't even have it anymore. They happened to come across a factory, abandoned one. And as soon as they got to a certain point, yeah, the alarm went off. Like, they had to get the hell out of there. Yeah. Believe it or not, more often than not, abandoned places come to the point that it says does not say do not enter. It just leaves itself wide open for people to check out. And another thing I saw was the abandoned underground. The most dumbest thing was they didn't show the way to get in. If you should have, or get out, if you wanted to get one of them cars out, or even drive something. So I'd say one of those things. We haven't mean that it should have or didn't, they didn't want to. Well, alright, we're still dumb because the way they got it off in there, it makes it look like that there's no way to get them cars out unless you take them out piece by piece and try to reassemble them. Even if it doesn't matter whether you're restoring them to full capacity where they're running and everything, it matters whether or not you can get them out. So, yeah, that's a lot of work to get all that done. Take a lot of time. Yeah. That's why it's dumb. Otherwise, it's not such a bad thing, but I'm not a show. It's not a big deal. But still, though, they showed the camera where it pointed off to a place that was dark, but then there was some boulders, and then they edited it out, as you can tell, and they're climbing over a wall. What they did, they must have somehow got it open, and then they found some other places. Okay. No big deal to me or anything. I just think that Jimmy Dean used to have something else, and I forget what it was. Now they have breakfast bowls, they've got something like that. Some of it is way too dang expensive. I mean, it may not be expensive as $100 or anything like that, but more than what you'd be willing to pay if you don't have the budget for it. And I guess the same thing could be said if you can't afford $4 or something, for a breakfast bowl. It's not bad at all. And I'll tell you what, you know, it's just it's hard to get out when you ain't got, you know, where to go. You know, if you have the funds to go somewhere. If you ain't got the funds, then there's not really much point in worrying about it. You might want to get out for a fresh air or whatever, but you got to make sure you got, you know, whatever comes involved in that. But a lot of times, there's just not much point unless you're going to go out and go get something, even if you've got something at home. But I'd rather have enough at home before I can even bother to say, yeah, I want to go out to eat, you know. Because at least I know I'd have to plan the money, like, and I might have to restart that a little bit later on, whatever. Yeah. So about that there being songs that would actually have to be more complicated for later on. So, yeah, we have to wait for a certain point in the game to absolutely say, yeah. You see, the thing is that you need to have done this and that. I think it requires the Ocarina of Time, if I'm not mistaken. But because of the way I'm doing this now, I could actually skip it, which it's sad that you had to do it that way. See, the first time that the flute was actually introduced was, believe it or not, and I believe it was in A Link to the Past. I don't remember any other game that actually had you know, any other flute per se. And that's the hell about it. The hell of it about this whole game is that it can be somewhat challenging. Somewhat where, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be playing this game, you know, because, well, I just can't do certain things without a controller. Well, the game can be fun. Some games can be where some of the parts you just don't need a controller for. But, like, if you want to do this properly and you have to have a controller, you're just better off waiting until you have a controller. I don't know, maybe I did that wrong. I'm not sure. I didn't know if it really mattered or not. It didn't seem like it did, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't looking it up, I just happened to find it. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's just so much to do, so much you could do if you had a bow, you know, arrows and stuff like that. There's also one more thing I would like to do that kind of makes the game kind of sort of complete. You don't actually have to do, but it's something that kind of is something uniquely interesting. But I had to wait until later on to do it. Welcome, Red. Aww. What again? What's wrong with that guy? I don't know. But as well as that, I couldn't do this in full screen, so I don't know. And you know, I'm not a fan of the idea that we're limiting ourselves with how much rupees we can have. Because in Link to the Past, you didn't even need but $9.99. You know, the randomizer had 4 9s, which is completely unnecessary, but it made the game more interesting. It really did. At the same time, that it was just unnecessary. It may not have been unnecessary, but it made it more interesting. Because, you know, you could actually, you didn't even need it. You didn't even need the triple 9s except for to make sure you got all of what you had to pay for. That was it. I love this Zelda franchise, except for the newer games, because, yeah, it didn't seem like it would end, because all they had was everybody doing their own damn thing, and they were doing, you know, instead of going to the main storyline, they had so many other stuff, so they had to explore, stuff like that. They had like 1,000 videos, and stuff like that, and then they go and make one where you can actually mod the game. Now, I'm not one that's usually against mods. Actually, I'm not against mods in general, except for, like, well, okay, you're just wasting the time, and you're just doing it because you can. And now, this isn't me saying, well, you shouldn't do that. I don't really care what you freaking do. But because people just like to do that. And it's like, what makes it more hateable above all is because it's such a most popular thing to do instead of just playing the game and getting it done. You know, making so much where you fight against your thing, and they were also cheating against other players. I mean, not characters, but players, and they were just like, you know, bombarding the crap out of the other ones, and like being such bullies over it. It was like, you know, okay, why is bullying so wrong, but yet people can be so popular because they're able to cheat their way through a game, and they're not gonna, not gonna call them out on it because they're using these mods to actually take advantage of people and say, "Oh, you're such a new player." Even if a person actually has experience, it's like it doesn't really matter. They're being targeted, and I'm not kidding you. And yet, these things will blow up with views. With so many views, nobody even cares. Except people, it's like, yeah, what's the point of that? It's like if I wanted to go play a PvP game, what you consider what it is today, and like back then it was like so many people. Unlike what today is, when you have to worry about, oh, you have to join a clan and all that kind of baloney whole crap. Like, let me go join a clan and get screwed over, and then this and that and the other, especially because, oh, there's limits of how many people you can have. And then you got liars in there, because everybody lies. They're not that loyal to their own group. Like, literally, if they were so loyal, they wouldn't just boot you out. What makes it worse now is that they can actually boot out the leader. I mean, it's got its pros and cons about it. I mean, like, if a leader hasn't been there long enough and whatever, I mean, a leader should actually if the leader can't be there for their own team, whether it's a female or a male, they should obviously be taking the chance to, step down and let someone else take care of it. Because the leader has to be there. They don't have to be there 24/7 no more than any other characters or any other players. But at least has to be there more. How about, plus the leader's supposed to be someone who more depth. Plus, there's a lot of things you can't do without the leader initiating. Crazy because, or there's also the idea of like, who gets to be assigned to what? That's really dumb. I think that they should also have more ranks stuff, and let it be like, okay, other people, you don't have to be like rank 3 or above just to recruit people. That's just stupid. Because anybody can do it. I mean, anybody can sit there and post messages. They might as well start expecting that when you're trying to recruit for your own deal. What makes me stupid about the whole big clan thing, that's how is that you have to have one. Otherwise, a lot of the game just can't be completed. And as well, those games just never really end. There is no way to end it except that once you've done all you can, that's it. A lot of people never come back. And there's a lot of people who do come back, but it takes them a long time because they have to start over with new accounts because most of the time the stuff that they get there won't even be anything unless they're like started over. Which also does suck because all those rewards and stuff that you got won't transfer over. Like, all that time you find a play where they had all these other stuff like the Transformers and stuff like that. Yeah, if you've got it, you were one of the lucky ones, but it won't transfer to your new account or nothing like that. And another thing is you can't even pay to get it. And there's also pros and cons with pay to win as well. I mean, they're not really just pay to win. A lot of it is revolving around that with that one game that was playing. But, it was also like you didn't have to, but still, it took you a long time, a lot longer, depending on how much you did to put into it. A lot of times, unless you're just like, getting lucky enough that nobody's online, you're able to do this and you're able to do that. But see, then if you want to actually level up at certain good stages, you got to have a plan. Because there's these bigger bosses you got to take them on, and you got to initiate it and let people come in there and join it. Otherwise, you can't take it on. It won't let you do it by yourself. It'll cancel it within a certain amount of time. So what gets me the most about things as well is the whole idea of the public chat. Always has, always will. Especially when it's so daggum silly, or not silly, but awkward. You got people in there saying things they should never say. People are 3, 5, 13, talking all about all this kind of inappropriateness between each other. I mean, that's just sad, really. And yeah, there it is. I knew we would finally get it. There we are. That's one of the complete wheels. Yeah, I feel like I've completely done this already. Done too much talking. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, later.